Dubrovnik has been on the bucket list for a long time. We took a late night flight on Thursday night to spend a weekend in Dubrovnik. While we arrived at night, I wanted to take some footage of what it would actually look like walking through the gates during the daytime, as it's so beautiful, surrounded by all the walls and all the boats out in the water. Our weekend was filled with just exploring, tons and tons of walking up and down stairs, finding new places to eat, and exploring this beautiful city with perfect weather. We booked a simple place that was in the heart of Old Town, right at the bottom of the famous stairs. The room was basic and simple, but we barely spent any time in it. It was nice to walk right out of our doors and into the alleyways and streets of Dubrovnik, filling up our water and starting our very first day with a walk around the walls. We decided to walk around the walls early in the morning to avoid the crowds, although May seems to be the perfect time to be in Dubrovnik, as the cruise ships aren't in and the hordes of people are not crowding the city. It was a beautiful day as we got to see and take a look at the city from above. After all that walking, we stopped into Barba, a famous place that sells octopus burgers, among other things. The food was delicious, the service was super friendly, and we even added our names to the fork decor they seem to have up on the walls. After lunch, we walked over to the fort, and I have to say the views looking at the fort and looking back to the walled city were my absolute favorite. It's probably my favorite part of actually going to the fort, are these views right here looking back. Our next stop was the Buza Bar, and we were really surprised to find everything closed up. Talking to the locals, we found out a little bit more information about a dispute going on between the government and all the seaside businesses. So most seaside businesses were shut down, yet we could still enter the premises and enjoy a day at the bar without having to buy drinks or spend any money.
He's such a water baby. You definitely cleared it.
This is so good. So good. Lemon. Creme brulee and Ferrero Rocher.
It's chocolate with some sprinkling of hazelnut.
It's amazing. The gelato at Peppino's was seriously delicious, rivaling some of the best places we've ever had in Italy. We may have visited a few times on our trip. After that, we went over to the Monestary. Buying the Dubrovnik City Pass for the day is the best deal, since it's the same cost as a trip to the walls, but you also get some extra places included. The monastery is beautiful and houses one of the oldest pharmacies, built in 1317. Next, we stopped at the beach, which was just a bit too crowded and rocky for me. I may be spoiled. The Walk of Shame stairs were right outside our hotel door, and a quick stop before dinner. This is a Kopun rooster with truffle sauce, yummy, and then an Adriatic seafood salad. Yummy, 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 yummy.
Cheese on there.
Tell them how good it is. How yummy is that?
Which one?
Which one? They're both so good.
Yeah, very flavorful. The truffles on this are delicious. Gone. Gone in 60 seconds.
Right, got me a little cockerel with roasted vegetables. What is it called? The pastisada? Something?
Salisbury steak.
Stop it. Going in for our second pepinos for the day. It was that good the first time, so we have to do it again.
What you got?
After a morning of coffee and breakfast, we took the ferry over to Lokrum Island. It's a quick ferry ride that leaves every 30 minutes and only costs €27. The island is small enough to walk around, and on it there is a monastery and botanical gardens. The best part is the amount of peacocks that are everywhere around the island. You'll see them in the gardens, by the water, and pretty much everywhere you go on the island. The views down by the water are beautiful, yet very rocky, so as beautiful as that water is, we had a hard time actually reaching it. Man, were we tempted to go swimming. One of my favorite things, too, was the olive grove that was filled with peacocks. The olive trees are gorgeous, and the views were beautiful. Dubrovnik and Lokrum Island were both used as locations for the Game of Thrones, so we couldn't pass up the opportunity for an obligatory Iron Throne photo. Did I mention we did some eating in Dubrovnik? We were so hungry when we got back from the island, we had to stop in and grab some snacks before dinner. The black squid, risotto, and tuna tartare was first. He likes it. He likes it.
Delicious.
It's delicious. This black risotto is so good. Look at, we're slopping it all up.
Need some more bread. Chop it up.
Macaroni. After our late lunch, or early dinner snacks, we walked up to Lady Pipi's for seafood. Fresh fish is what the place is known for. Arriving early is recommended, and thank goodness we did. The first tables were already taken, so we waited about half an hour, but it was worth the wait. The food was so good and fresh. Best tuna Mike's ever had. Mike started every day at this bakery, getting a Burek filled with spinach and cheese, along with other things. Okay, so tell us what you got. What do you go to the bakery every morning to get?
Normally get the spinach and cheese, but she accidentally gave me the cheese one, which is still tasty. And then I got the apple cinnamon strudel, which you can see it on there.
I can vouch, those are good.
Very delicious. And then, of course, the choco twisties. It's a twisty croissant with the chocolate bits inside it.
All right.
It's right bit delicious.
Burek is a place that I had already heard about before coming to Dubrovnik. It often opened later than Mike's first run at his bakery, but we had to give it a try before we left town. It was good, it was great, but equivalent to the ones that Mike was getting at his bakery. So that's it. We spent our last morning strolling through the town again. We went outside the city walls and grabbed a cup of coffee. Dubrovnik really was the perfect weekend getaway. We strolled the beautiful streets of Old Town, enjoyed the sea and sun, and definitely a lot of delicious food. But it was time to go, and luckily Mike carries the luggage. Goodbye for now, Croatia. I know you have more places to explore, so we will be back.